bit of bitterness can make love even sweeter today. I'm Jeff Jower.
And for Planet Pulse on this Monday, July 28th, I'm Rick Levine. We have the moon in outgoing and expressive Leo, but the real action is how that moon connects to a sometimes more bitter or deeper connection between Venus and Pluto.
Yeah, Venus, the planet of love, is in Cancer, that comfort-seeking sign, in which we'd probably prefer a little bit of milk chocolate that reminds
with
us
a hug.
Right, with a hug, maybe a little caramel or caramel, depending upon what part of the country you come from. But this is one of those days where there may be a little bit of salt on the sea salt to make the chocolate a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, and actually, that sea salt actually may be chili peppers, or
yeah, I think you're right.
It's intense, and I understand what you're saying. There's
Pluto,
a contractive. Yeah. That's right. Venus is opposite Pluto today, and remember, we have this ongoing square for years that we've been talking about Uranus squaring Pluto. Venus is is opposing Pluto today. In a few days it will be squaring Uranus. It's coming into this intense place, and today the energy of sweet Venus opposing Pluto is perhaps the realization that she can't just have that comfort and the safety of that chocolate milk or warm milk or a cup of tea and the coziness, the safety of being at home, because there's deeper stuff going on at home. She's not going to escape it. She's got to be pulled into those emotional realms of unknown intensity where things get heavy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because if we're needy today, then we're going to probably end the day feeling hungry or being manipulated or having paid too much for it. I think the one message of a Pluto-Venus connection is that the purpose of love is to transform ourselves, rather than just to retain things exactly as we know them to be.
And although this is not an easy aspect, and although the moon's role in this is not easy either, because the moon in Leo, which is outgoing and expressive, doesn't like shadows, and the moon is forming a half square with Venus, saying, I don't even like the cup of warm milk. I'd rather have, I don't know, a shot of brandy or something. There's something that the moon is a half square to Venus, is not comfortable with Venus. The moon is also a square and a half to Pluto, so it's not comfortable with either ends of this. But what I was going to say is that even though it's an uncomfortable square with an uncomfortable moon, I think it's the thorn that helps us remove the thorn. I think the discomfort actually allows us to do what it is that we need to do.
Agreed, as long as we're willing to grow up and move forward. I was thinking maybe what that Leo moon's problem is I'm glorious, and anything less than full adoration is insulting, and yet stepping down into the process of the quid pro quo and a deeper understanding of those needs you talked about and those feelings that we talked about is really what I think today's work is. I'm Jeff Jower.
Well said. I'm Rick Levine.